Hola clase, ¿cómo están? Excelente. Y bienvenidos otra vez al Aprendiendo con el Señor Cacao. All right, here is your warm up for today. And again, this is getting you ready for today's test. Okay. Okay, clase, por favor, saquen papel y practiquen. Pause the video now. All right, first one. I was a student at Evans Middle School. Yo fui estudiante en Evans Middle School. They went to Florida last night. Ellos fueron a Florida anoche. Fueron a Florida. He was at the school. Él estuvo en la escuela. Because that's where he was. Estar. Did you put the books in my backpack? ¿Pusiste los libros en mi mochila? We saw the insect in the gym. Vimos el insecto en el gimnasio. My friends found out that I'm short. Mis amigos supieron que soy bajo. And I refused to study. No quise estudiar. And there. Okay, so then we took the test today in class, and depending on who you are, you still have to take yours. Okay, so that's that. So again, I took time to review what's on the test. And again, what's on there was this. It was these, estuve, estuviste, estuvo, keeping in mind how saber turns into found out, and then querer turns into tried or refused, depending on whether it's negative. And then we had these five irregulars as well. Okay, so keep in mind spelling changes like trajeron and meanings like caber means to fit and all of that stuff. Okay, so then we had a discussion and I asked, when do we use the imperfect tense? Last year, we learned the preterite tense and the imperfect tense. They are both past tenses. So, do you know when to use the imperfect tense? The preterite tense is for sudden actions, things that happened within a very specific time period, like yesterday or last night, last year. The imperfect is for things, well, many types of things. It could be something describing in the past, like the house was red. It could be something that happened all the time, like every year we used to go to the beach. It could be something mental, like I was thinking. So there you go. So the big difference is preterite has a very specific time. We know when it started and stopped. Yesterday, sun came up, sun went down, 24 hours. Last week, within these 7 days, these sudden actions happened. With imperfect, it's much more vague, like back when I was a kid, or every day, a lot, stuff like that. Those are all imperfect time periods. Okay? So let me put myself down here and show you the short version today. Okay? Because then I'm going to show you why we're going over this. Okay. So again, this is the short version. And I kind of already explained this a second ago. Preterite and imperfect. This is a big deal when speaking Spanish because they mean different things. As you know, preterite actions are sudden and happened once in a moment. The time is very specific. That's why it's a lightning bolt. These are quick, sudden things. There is a clear beginning and end. They happened within a certain time frame that is clearly closed and done. When I say that, here's what I'm referring to. I'm going to pull up Paint here. If I say ayer, let's say a sentence. Yo comí un taco ayer. So here is the time period, yesterday. Here's the start of yesterday. Here is the stop of yesterday. Because I've told you this, we know exactly when this time period started and stopped. So, for example, when I say I ate a taco, let's say it happened here. And if we had to, we could say it was at 4:03 p.m. Okay? Yo comí un taco. It was a sudden action, and it happened within a very closed, over, and done time period. Another example would be something like this. Fuimos a Cuba el año pasado. All right, so here's last year, January, the year starts, December, the year ends. Fuimos a Cuba, we went to Cuba. Let's say it was February 3rd. Okay, we went to Cuba. We went, boom, sudden action, over and done. And the fact that we've been given this time period lets us know it was between January and December, no doubt. We know with 100% certainty it happened within this closed time period. Okay, so for examples, we have this. El año pasado, mis amigos comieron mucha pizza. Last year, my friends ate a bunch of pizza. All right, it was a sudden thing. It happened within this year. La semana pasada, yo hice mucha tarea. Last week, I did a bunch of homework. Last week, closed, over, done, stop, start. El señor López vivió en Florida por 6 años. Mr. Lopez lived in Florida for 6 years. It started before the 6 years and ended after. Perfect example, started and stopped 6 years. Now the imperfect situations happen more than once or continuously. These are viewed as in progress. Many times they are describing things like the house was big, I was short as a kid, or saying what was going on in the background. And this is the key here. The time frame is much more general. Number 1, yo era muy malo de niño. I was very bad as a kid. If I say as a kid, just based on what I said, can you tell me the exact start and stop? No, it's just general. Generally, well, back when I was a kid, I was bad. Number 2, nosotros estudiábamos todos los días. We studied every day. It's like saying we used to study every day. If the only thing I tell you is every day, can you tell me the exact start and stop of that? No, it's just a general, yeah, every day this would happen. But we don't know how many days, we don't know anything. And number 3, Carla estaba nerviosa. Carla was nervous. I'm describing how she was feeling. There is no start and stop to that. I'm just generally telling you, yeah, she was nervous. When I saw her, she was feeling nervous. Okay? Now, let me see if there's anything I'm skipping here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show you one last thing, and then this is going to be your assignment. Okay, and here's a really good side by side. Here's a clear difference between the two. Yo fui a Publix ayer. I went to Publix yesterday. The action is sudden. The time period is specific start and stop, as opposed to this. Yo iba a Publix todos los días. I used to go to Publix every day. Just saying every day is nothing specific. It's very vague. It could have been 20 days, it could have been 100. We don't know because you haven't told us. Okay? Okay. Now, the last thing is your assignment. All right, this is a side-by-side of preterite and imperfect irregular verbs. Now, we just had a test on preterite irregulars, of which, there are many. There are 18 on our test. And these are 3 of them. Ir and ser, fui, fuiste, fue, and ver, vi, viste, vio. These are ir, ser, and ver. Now, with the imperfect tense, in the entire Spanish language, ir, ser, and ver are the only irregular verbs. Nothing else. No stem changers, nothing. Just these three. So ir turns into iba. So like yo iba a Publix could mean I was going to Publix, I used to go to Publix. Maybe this happened every day, maybe it's back when you were a kid. Ser turns into era. So if you want to say, oh man, I was short as a kid, yo era baja de niña. Okay, yo era baja. I was short. There's nothing sudden about being short, and there's no closed time period there. It's just back when I was a kid. And ver, as you know, means to see. So, or maybe even to watch. So you could say like, yo veía SpongeBob todos los días. I used to watch SpongeBob every day. Versus yo vi SpongeBob anoche. I saw SpongeBob. I watched it last night. Vi, I watched it once. Veía, I used to. It was ongoing. Okay, or maybe even something in the background. She was watching TV. Ella veía televisión. Okay, so your assignment, and this is on Google Classroom, is 6 sentences. 1, 2, 3 in preterite tense. 1, 2, 3 imperfect. Okay, that's your assignment. All right, I will see you on the next one. Adios.